Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you a bunch of workflows that I will provide packed together, and you can pick and choose from. It won't be all of those, like some of these are versioned, but it'll be this lot. And why I've been using them in the making of the opening sequence of a non-fiction novel I'm converting to a visual story called Great Southern Land, which is about emigrating to Australia and the trials and tribulations of such a thing. And these workflows, let me just explain them for you. So, Detailer. Now that's an old one, but it's got a few changes to it. I made that available in 2025, and I've used that for upscaling. Now I'm working exclusively in LTX at the moment, but WAN and VACE and all those ones are old, still have their place, and I'm trying to find that place in my process, and in needing to upscale what I get on low VRAM 3060 RTX out of LTX. I go for 480p. I don't go higher, or I wasn't. I've actually changed that now, but that's another story. But at 480p, I was going out of there and then taking that into WAN as a detailer, so that's low denoise setting, using whichever version I'll share. I can't remember, it's 2 or 3. And that works okay. If I set it to 16 frames per second, that's 157 frames on a 10-second LTX output export. And it works. It takes about 10 minutes on my main machine, and it works. Though I ran into some issues with faces, as always. This has always been a problem. Faces at a certain distance, especially crowds, you have to go really high to fix. If they're close in, most people work with it very close, don't get a problem. But as soon as you've got crowds at a distance, and I made a big video on this last year, as soon as you've got crowds at a distance, you've got a problem. So I spent the last 2 days fighting with that. And another workflow I found, which is absolutely amazing, if I could only make better use of it, and it comes from a guy called Abel Jones. I will share his links to his GitHub, because he does some fantastic work in exploring these models, and he's kind of realised that HuMO is really good. It's like Phantom or Magref, if you remember those models. I used them somewhat last year, but they didn't have, I couldn't use them in the way I wanted, because they tended to have a certain effect. But they're all WAN based, as I believe is HuMO, but HuMO is an I2V. But what is amazing about it is you can use it as a detailer, and it will take the first image, which presumably is perfect and slowly disintegrates somewhat. It will take the first image and apply that back, the people back in. So effectively you're returning consistency of characters back in as you detail it, which I didn't even know it could do. I thought HuMO was just lip sync. So Droz, or it also uses the Clown Shark stuff, which I have, but look, low VRAM, enough said. So there's, I have to be careful how much time I give things. And the other problem with this, and the one I'm going to look into, because I love this workflow, but I cannot use it, unfortunately, because I need to get to 720p, and it just won't for me at the moment. I haven't fiddled around with it, because I actually need to get to 1080p, but that's another story. But yeah, I'll share that here. It's completely untouched, other than maybe slightly just to make it work for me. But yeah, go and see Abel Jones, aka Droz. I will share the link in the text of the video. Now, what else do we know? Seed VR2. I was working, that is all part of my process, where I go Quen into Z image into Seed VR2 up to 4K, and then I use that for the first frame, last frame, which I've added some things into this now. This is absolutely brilliant. This is from Fruit, PHROOT 00T. Another guy well worth following. His LTX workflow, in my opinion, is landmark. And I've just spent the last 2 days using all my other ones, which I don't share here. I will add that in. Oh no, there's Nitro V. That's the Kijai one, which I've also updated, which, if you remember, was the succulent Chinese meal video with Mel Gibson doing Braveheart, but not. If you saw that video, the extending, and I've changed that, so I'll share that as an updated version. So I was jumping between that and an Nitro V I've got, which was producing really punched in faces and blancmange effects, and always has, but I couldn't get first frame last frame working without with just one image. You have to give it both, and then it works really well. You have to fight the prompt a bit, but it works really well. But if you reduce it to one image, it gets problems, which I found kind of weird, and not got past. And then the next problem I had, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll use the same image for the first frame as for the last frame, and then nothing happens. And I won't share it here, but if you want to join my free Patreon, then I will share how I trick it into working, and it's really good. And when I add FlashVSR in, which is, oh my God, territory, and I don't say that lightly, it's just completely changed everything. And I solved FlashVSR on my setup last night, and I'd used it before, but a different version, and I installed a new version last night going, oh well, I'll try it, because I've been doing everything and I couldn't get up to 720p, and bang, I was up to 1080p in 10 minutes. Phenomenal. So in fact, I could quickly show you 10 seconds out of LTX, and finally that was as good as I could get it. But as you can see, Fessy's at that distance crumble in. You get these problems with it, and they just look wrong, and his nose is wrong, and you know, it's going on. And this is using that FFLF, and I've got mud swamps here, and I'll explain why in the video instead of a fire. This is Glastonbury. This is taken from an original photo, but I doctored the photo to change all the people. And the trickery I had to use to get to this stage with the first frame, last frame, I will explain in the free Patreon one. But if you want to join that and watch that video. But then the point of me telling you this was, I just couldn't get any fix on this, because I had to go back down to 480p. That was at 720 out of LTX. I tried 1080 out of LTX. It took too long and just gave me problems. So 720 is reasonable. 15 minutes, I've got it done and it's out. Nothing was working to improve it. I was doing all sorts of things. Let me just quickly show you one. So I'll take it back. The last one wasn't the final result. This was the final result. So I've got to not scrape and talk. This was the final result. Because I'd managed to fix the faces well enough, but it was blurry as hell. But you can see they're holding together. And I did some tricks to achieve that. And it's using Fruit's first frame, last frame one again. So his workflow is stupendous. But what I really needed was to get that better quality and higher. And you know, my detailers would change it. WAN did that. It's as soon as you go to the denoise of 0.8, it'll change it too drastically, and that's kind of cool in its own way. But it's not that group at the festival, as you can see. And but yeah, end result, FlashVSR. I finally installed a decent version, and I mean, that is phenomenal. It's too good, actually. I'm going to have to soften it up and, you know, lose the American teeth and stuff like that. I'll have to, but that's, you know, this was last thing last night, and I just went, holy cow. And that's at 1080p. It's just a bit short of it. But I really wasn't expecting that good out of VSR, and in under 10 minutes. So, and going from 720p to 1080p in under 10 minutes is like how, but yeah, okay, I'll take it. And yeah, so I now have to fiddle around with that. But long story short, you'll be getting all those workflows in a little package. Download it, dig around. Do I need to tell you about any others? I don't think I do. I'll put all the links in the that's Z image one. I'll put all the links in the video. I'll put bigger explanations on the Patreon free site, and you know, if you want to join Patreon as a paid member, then there'll be longer workshop style stuff on how I use it to build all this, which is what I'm on at the moment. And if you're wondering what this is AIM Storyboard, and it's available for sale on my website, software. But you know, go and have a look at that. There's a trial, 30-day trial, if you want to try it out first.